Hello knitters, Faylin from Strands Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And today I have a couple classes, so stay tuned. Okay, first I have to ask from last week's video, raise of hands, who's tried out the app with the little bean? I have. I just find it humorous and a little laughter. Joy and laughter is always a good thing. And if you didn't see last week's video, go to last week's video and I explained the whole thing. So yeah. So classes I have coming up is I've got the Muscle Burger hat. So actually also on my needles again. Yes, obsession. So you know what this really is? It's like socks without heels. It's that same kind of really great knit that I do when I do socks without the construction of socks, but it's the same sort of feeling of socks because you're just, yeah, I love it. So anyways, this is the Muscle Burrow hat. This hat, if you haven't seen me talk about it, is a tube with a beginning and an end. And so, once you get it started, which that's the hard part, which is I'm having a class, so that's what you're coming here to do is learn how to get it going. That's the most fiddly part. It's not hard, it's just fiddly. You will also probably learn either 2 circulars or magic loop if you don't know how to do those yet. This is a really good project for this kind of thing because yeah. So and then you just knit your tube so many inches depending on the size, and then you close it up. So the other good thing, this class would also be like if you don't want to knit this hat, but you want to knit a top-down hat, that this class is for that too, because you're starting top-down. So it just depends on how long you're going to knit it. So it's really a top-down, it's how to start your hat top-down kind of class. And the reason you would do that is you can use any yarn, any needles, and you can get the gauge off of what you're already knitting. And then you'll have a hat that fits perfectly, and we don't have quite as much of the fitting issues that we can get with hats. Hats are one of the hardest things to fit. Sometimes they just come out small, they come out big, it's hard to get it. There's things with hats. So top down is a solution to that for a lot, but because it's fiddly to start, we don't do them very often. So, but it's worthy, this is worthy of a thing. This is because this can make hat knitting quite simple. So it's just learning how to do this, and then you're on your way and you can knit anything you want. So what I'm doing, I'm using we have Zauberball, Crazy Zauber. This is just Zauberball, which is a fingering weight yarn that's very slow striping. So this one is striping, right? This is very, very slow. It's almost, we call it a gradient because it slowly moves through the different colors. We also have Crazy Zauberball, which that means that the strands themselves are multicolored. So there's a lot more color stuff going on in them. So anyway, so this is, and I got it started yesterday. That pretty. So there's the start. There's one way to do this center thing to get your stitches on. That's a whole technique. But if that looks overwhelming for you, just cast on like you normally would and just start. It'll work just fine. Matter of fact, in this particular one, I'm sort of looking at this and I'm not sure I really like the way, like, I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit holy here. And I'm actually down on needle size for my last one. But because of the way you stretch out your stitches when you're putting this on, it's a little bit holy. I mean, you don't see it and it's on your head, you're not going to see anything. It looks beautiful. You know, if you don't sit and pull it apart, it's really nice. Yeah, so it's really nice way to get that thing. And it's very akin, if you're a crocheter, it's very much like the magic circle for crochet start, but with knitting. So yeah. Okay, so that's that. And again, it doesn't have to be this hat. It's really a top-down hat class. So any yarn, so this is like if you have extra yarn sitting around, enough for a hat, like that's usually around 50 grams plus, depending on how big your yarn is. And your needle size, you look at the ball band. I would go to the smaller size on the ball band. And if you're a loose knitter, I would go down another size. So if it said from 7 to 9, I would definitely use a 7. I'd probably go down to a 6. And if you're loose, I would go down to a 5. That's the way I would do this. But again, you're starting at the top, and so if you decide that it's too tight, you just change your needle. It's at the top, and then we'll knit a little wider, and then we'll get the stitches per inch that you're getting, and that'll calculate about how wide you need to keep, how long you decrease before you start going down. And so you can change at that point. You don't have to start all over again. You can change right then because it's just the top of the hat. It's fine. So yeah, so top down hat, that's a good thing. And any yarn, any needles, just make sure it sort of matches your yarn. So, you know, if you need to look it up, you could Google what's the average needle size for a size 4 yarn. It's going to be a 7. And always at this point for a hat, I would go down a needle size and not up, unless you're really, really tight. But even I'm going down a needle size because you just wanted it a little bit tighter for a hat so that it's not, you know, too open of a weave. It won't keep your head warm. So anyways, that's it. And that's okay. And the next thing is it's pumpkin season. Yay. So we had bunny season. We've got pumpkin season. So we have pumpkin patterns. We have a lot of them, but there's 2 ways to make pumpkins, and they're fabulous using multiple different kinds of yarns, colored yarns. It's just a really, really fun project, and it's very simple. One, you can just cast on enough stitches that your circular needle, so you could do it on a 16-inch needle. Your circular needle is full, and you just knit a tube, and then you're going to close up one side. You're going to flip it over. You're going to stuff it. You're going to close up this side. Then you're going to put string around it to make it go in sections. That's the simple basic one. You can also just do it back and forth. Knit a row, purl a row, and seam it. That works too. But then there's so many different things. I have tons of pictures up here. They're patterns that have color work in them. It's actually a really fun color work one. Maybe I'll do that this year. Maybe I'll find a color work one and do it. And that could be one of your options. And doing a tube is perfect for color work, and simple color work. It makes it really, really cute. Anyway, so here's a ton of pictures, a ton of inspiration, because there is no limit to what you could do with this. They make wonderful gifts for hostess gifting, you know, think of Thanksgiving coming up, tablescapes, entryway scapes. Yeah, they're just fun. And you can make tiny little ones, and you can make bigger ones. So the sizes are all. Okay, the pumpkin class is September 21st from 10 to 12. The hat class is October 12th from 10 to 12. I hope I got it right this time. Okay, and the other thing I want to jabber about a little bit is it's sweater season. This is sweater weather. Well, we're not quite there, but we're thinking of sweater weather. But this is high season for knitters, because this is when all the designers start putting out all their fall, winter patterns. And let's face it, fall, winter sweaters is what everybody wants to do, because that's what makes you nice and cozy and warm, and that's what knitting's for. So this is the beginning of high season. So going on to YouTube, there's a million podcasts out there there's so many the people talking about their knitting, and it is just a really great place to go and get inspired, even if you're a beginning knitter. And I have to say, these days, I mean, you can look for beginning knitting ideas too, just so that you're not looking at things, you know, like I'm not making that anytime soon kind of feeling. So there are beginner ones, just, you know, put in knitting. I would put knitting fall 2025 beginner and see what comes up. But I've got some pictures here too. So it's just so much. But as the knitting world has really grown in the last, what's it been? We're 20 plus years now, 25 years of a community. The ability of knitters has really gone up. So a lot of this beautiful, beautiful sweaters we're seeing are not beginning simple sweaters. But for every one of those, there is a beginning one, or a much simpler one, that is very, very similar. But you just have to know what you need to look for. Mostly that it's constructed just basic, like it's a top-down raglan or it's a drop sleeve. That kind of, it just looks like it's a very basic construction. And then if you go onto Ravelry to find the pattern, there's a difficulty rating down at the bottom, which the knitters themselves are the ones that, you know, put their information in there. And so that algorithm, so it's coming from the knitters, not like from the designer or anything, on the difficulty of this. And that's another way to sort of figure that out. But a lot of beginning stuff says beginning. And of course, you can always talk to us because we always know how to make, for every complicated sweater, we've got a non-complicated way of doing it. So, but for inspiration, man, is it lovely. And some of the, I mean, you'll find some people might be annoying if you listen to them and just move past them because there's so many lovely knitters out there sharing their wealth of information, sharing what they're doing, what went wrong, what didn't go wrong, how it looks on them and things they thought about. And just, it's a really good way to start learning more about knitting world and how we think about the yarns. How do we think about these things to get projects put together that, I mean, we talk a lot about those things around here, but still this is like one, you know, there's one voice right here. Christine's there too. So there's two voices right here. So, but it's just fun to go looking through everything. And especially right now, because man, are there some beautiful patterns coming out. And I wish I had a clone of myself and that could just sit and knit all day and knit me sweaters because, oh my God, some of them are beautiful. The sort of big trend that's happened now a little bit. So we were way cables and lace, and now we're combining cables and lace into patterns. And it's just really, really fun. So go on to just YouTube, put in knitting fall 2025, and you'll be entertained. It's a great way to sit and knit and listen about knitting. It's like a perfect world, right? Okay, and that's it for this week. And I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.